How's it going, everyone? I'm Grant Cohn. I cover the 49ers for the Santa Rosa Press Democrat and Associated Press and other places. I'm going to be previewing the 49ers game against the Rams. They play Saturday night. These previews and film breakdowns that I've been doing have been getting a little long and unwieldy, and I want to not take your attention for granted. So this is going to be a quick hit and run, quick in and out. I'm calling it a quick hit and run. Play on words for the football fans out there. 8 plays on offense, 8 plays on defense, quick in and out, what the Niners are facing from the Rams, what challenges the Rams present, what weaknesses the Rams have, and how the Niners have to attack them. Let's get right into it, shall we? Starting with the Rams defense, starting with their best player, Aaron Donald. He's still good. Got to see what the Niners are up against in this game. Their pass protection has been the biggest weakness of the offense recently. Last week, they had a lot of trouble stopping Grady Jarrett, who's a terrific defensive tackle, but Aaron Donald's the best. You see him right here. He's going up against Justin Pugh, a left guard who's terrific, excellent left guard, making a lot of money, just as good as Laken Tomlinson, who is the Niners left guard. Let's see what happens here. Aaron Donald is most fun to watch in slow motion because he still looks like he's going fast. He just throws Pugh to the side like he's a practice squad player and not a guy making $50 million. And not only that, he tracks down Kyler Murray and sacks him. Everyone has to deal with Aaron Donald, but the Niners have to make special considerations to double him as much as possible because he can line up here, he can line up here, he can line up here, and he can take turns wearing out the left guard, the center, or the right guard, and all three of those players have struggled for the Niners. I'm talking Laken Tomlinson on the left, Ben Garland in the center, Mike Person on the right. The Niners have to avoid him as much as possible. Quick passes, quick screens, things of that nature. They can't expose their interior offensive lineman to Aaron Donald because none of them can block him. But no one could really block Aaron Donald. So that's enough of him. You see him, he's kind of like in the Matrix. He moves way faster than everyone else, and he's a big guy. Let's look at a couple more of their pass rushers. Dante Fowler. He played in the first game against the Niners. He's a terrific player. He's got 9 sacks this season. So I want to show you a sack he had against Atlanta week 7. This one here. And to me, it applies to what he's facing this weekend with the Niners. So on the left, this is Dante Fowler going against Caleb McGarry, right tackle who did not give up a sack last week against the Niners. To me, Dante Fowler is quite similar to the pass rusher that the Falcons have, Vic Beasley, who beat Joe Staley for a sack last week. Beat him just like this. Except he was over here. Fowler's on the left. He's a very, very fast, explosive young edge rusher. McGarry right now is afraid of getting beaten around the edge. So he's going to overset to the outside and give up an inside counter lane, which Fowler takes easily and sacks Matt Ryan. One of his 9 sacks this season. I bring this up because same thing could happen to Joe Staley this weekend. Nervous about getting beaten around the edge, gives up the inside. What the Niners need to do, while they're double teaming Donald with tackles and guards, they got to move the Niners a tight end or a running back over to this side and chip Dante Fowler, meaning hit him. Force him this direction. Don't give him the edge. Help out your tackle. If it's Joe Staley, help him out with a tight end or a running back because Staley is going to be overwhelmed by the speed and he's going to give up the inside cutback. We've seen it happen a couple of times. Happened last week against Vic Beasley. It's preventable. All you got to do is give Staley some help so he knows he's not going to get beaten around the edge. Okay, now the edge rusher who did not play against the Niners in the earlier meeting, Clay Matthews. Let's watch Clay Matthews because he's still a terrific pass rusher. He has 8 sacks this season. Let's watch him here. I'm talking week 10 at Pittsburgh. Here. I mean, the Niners have to be really careful with their offense. If they don't show the Rams any respect and they just drop back and throw the ball 40, 45 times, 7-step drops, they'll lose. Fortunately for the Niners, they don't play that way. They should be okay if they continue to use their quick passing game and they run the ball. But let's watch this pass rush. I mean, there could be a key play in the game that's 3rd and 8, and you got to deal with this. You got Fowler over here, Donald right here, and here's Clay Matthews, the 3rd best pass rusher. He's still pretty good. He's 33 years old. He's been doing this a long time. Got polished pass rush moves. He's not the best run defender, and I'll get into that a little bit later, but he's explosive and technically proficient. Look at the hand usage. Batting the right tackle's hands away, gets around him real quick. I mean, looks like Nick Bosa right there, a smaller Nick Bosa. So that's what Jimmy Garoppolo faces. How can they work around this? But first, I want to show you the defensive backs because one of them is really, really good. I'm going to start with Jalen Ramsey. He wasn't on the Rams when they played the 49ers earlier this season. They traded for him the next day, 2 days later. So it's not Jalen Ramsey. Hold on. I want to get Lamar Jackson completing pass. Okay, Lamar Jackson, complete passes. Where are you at? Here we go. 2019. And I'm talking week 12. Okay. Now, the question with Jalen Ramsey, we know he's great. What I want to show you, the question everyone's wondering is he going to guard Kittle? Who's he going to guard? Because he's bigger than Marcus Peters, the number 1 corner on this team in the previous matchup. Ravens traded him. Totally different types of cornerbacks. I'm looking 835 here. So Marcus Peters was smaller, took more chances, intercepted more passes, gave up more big plays. They got rid of him. Jalen Ramsey is physical, in your face, bump and run coverage, tight coverage, force the quarterback to throw somewhere else. So what he does, I went to the Ravens game because the Ravens are similar to the Niners in that their number 1 go-to receiver on 3rd down is their tight end, Mark Andrews, right here. Just like the Niners with Kittle. They want to throw to Kittle on third down. He's catching like 83% of his targets on 3rd down. Great player. That's their guy. What the Rams do with Ramsey, what they couldn't do with Peters, is they have him shadow cover the best player on any given snap, no matter where he lines up. Peters would play in one spot. Ramsey plays all over the place. So on 1st and 2nd down, he'll probably cover Emmanuel Sanders because you don't want him covering a tight end on 1st down where he would have to be in the box defending the run, matching up with George Kittle as a blocker. But on 3rd down, when they're not going to run the ball and you know they're going to pass the ball to Kittle, or that's the number 1 thing they want to do, Ramsey will cover him just like he's covering Mark Andrews right here. That's Andrews, tight end. Here's Ramsey covering him in the slot, inside the numbers. Watch what happens. Man-to-man coverage, not zone. Bump and run. Big tight end. That's a cliche. A tight end who is big. They're all big. Against a cornerback who's big, but not big for a football player, big for a corner. Watch what he does to Andrews. It's their best receiver. That's what you call bump and run coverage. It's great. Perfect. Now, Lamar Jackson throws to a guy who's wide open and converts the 1st down anyway. And this is something the Niners can do too because the rest of the secondary isn't that good. I'm just showing you. If you're curious, how are the Rams going to use Jalen Ramsey in this game? Just like this. On 3rd down against Kittle, he's going to be right there. So if the game comes down to a 4th and 3 at the very end, you know the Rams have a bit of an advantage. Not an advantage, but they can at least hold their own against Kittle. They're going to put Ramsey on him and force Garoppolo to go somewhere else. Now, what I'm going to show you next is going to make you, if you're a Niner fan, feel encouraged because there should be a lot of other places for Garoppolo to go. There's no reason to force the issue against Ramsey when there are openings other places. Let's look at the number 2 cornerback, Darius Williams. And to show you him, I have to show you Tavon Austin. It's hard to look up defensive players on this, but if you know who they got beat by, okay, Tavon Austin, complete passes, week 15. Okay, so the typical number 2 cornerback that the Rams have is Troy Hill. He played in the first game against the Niners. He's really good. Not playing, thumb injury. His replacement, Darius Williams, undrafted cornerback, 2018, special teams guy. Here he is right here in the slot, going against Tavon Austin, former top 10 pick, but really a bust, not a receiver, a jet sweep artist, and former return specialist. This is what he does to Darius Williams. This is all the Cowboys won this game 44-21. They destroyed the Rams. Ramsey was great. He only gave up 1 catch for 19 yards to Amari Cooper the whole game. That's who he was shadowing. You don't have to go after Ramsey to beat up the Rams. You can avoid Ramsey the entire game and still score 45. Look at Darius Williams. Man-to-man against a very fast wide receiver, but that's not the issue. The issue is he runs into his own player, and they both fall down. Or one falls down. Williams falls down. Gives up this touchdown. They're going to wear him out. They're going to eat him alive. You figure Ramsey covers Emmanuel Sanders on first and second down. Well, this guy's going to have to cover Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel could have 200 receiving yards in this game. He really could. Deebo Samuel should have a terrific game going up against this guy. Or they're going up against a rookie third-round pick named David Long Jr., who was inactive in this game. They could go with him. I mean, really, both might play and both might get torched. I would expect that to happen. One more guy I want to show you, safety. He's a rookie. His name is Taylor Rapp. He played a little bit against the Niners the first game, but now he's starting as strong safety because John Johnson is hurt. So let's go. This is Blake Jarwin. So this is, I mentioned Ramsey's going to be covering Kittle on third down, but on first and second down, he's probably going to be playing traditional cornerback and covering Emmanuel Sanders. On first and second down, when the Niners are going to be running the ball and doing play-action passes and leveraging Kittle's greatness or excellentness as a blocker, it's going to be this rookie Taylor Rapp covering him. So what does that look like? Let's see. 624 here. Okay. Here we go. This is a play the Niners, a type of play the Niners run a lot. Let's see. Okay. So what we got? Where it's going to be a play action, roll to the left. Blake Jarwin, the tight end, pretends to block. We see this a lot. The Niners do this. The Rams do this. Everyone does this because it's an easy, big play. You pretend to block, then you roll out to the flat. What I want to show you with Taylor Rapp is, first of all, undisciplined. That's your man-to-man coverage. You're not supposed to bite on the play fake. You're supposed to stick with your guy. So he falls for the bait here, overruns the play, lets his guy go. He's only about three yards behind him, but he stumbles, and he's so slow. He ran like a 4.75 or something ridiculous at the combine. I mean, he gets beat easily by a tight end to the edge and can't catch him at any point. So he's undisciplined and he's slow. He's a starting strong safety. And he's weak against the run, too. I'll show you this. This is another guy the Niners are going to wear out. So when they try to get the ball to Kittle, I expect the Niners are going to do a lot of it on first and second down off of play action with little plays like this to take advantage of Taylor Rapp. On third down, probably you want to go to someone else, not Kittle, probably Sanders or Deebo or Kendrick Bourne. No, Kendrick Bourne with the he actually has pretty reliable hands these days. Deebo Samuel could drop it at any time. That's the way I look at it. All right. Now let's look at their run defense. Let's look at their run defense. 2 plays. First, let's just from the last game they played against the Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard. The Cowboys ran for about 1 million yards in this game, and that's the main reason they won. I think 268, something ridiculous. I want running plays. Here we go. Okay. 2 plays. First, up the middle by Ezekiel Elliott. It's third quarter, 14:30. Here. Okay. What am I showing you here? Let's see. Let's get the situation. First and 10. This is the Cowboys in 21 personnel. That's 2 backs, 1 tight end. Over here, 2 wide receivers. This is what the Niners do most of the time. It's their base offense. And I want to show you how the Rams match up, what their personnel is. You've got 5 across the line, Matthews, Aaron Donald, 2 more defensive linemen, Brockers over here, Fowler over here. And then you got 2 linebackers, Littleton and Reeder, Troy Reeder, rookie undrafted guy. He's terrible. I'll show you more about him. And then here's Rapp over here. This is the front. This is what the Niners are going to see, the 2 linebackers and the strong safety when they run the ball from their base offense. All right. What's going to happen? It's just a simple run between the tackles. They're going to trap Aaron Donald with a pulling guard. I'll show you how that works and what that means. But all you really forget what play the Cowboys are running is not important. I just want you to focus on the ball. Watch the ball. It's going to get handed off to Ezekiel Elliott right here. Watch what happens. This is why the Rams are giving up 182 rushing yards per game the last 4 games. Did I mention that? 182 per game. All right, let's go real like this, frame by frame. So you got a hole right there. This guy comes and traps Aaron Donald from the side. Trap just means he doesn't get blocked right here. It comes from somewhere else. Anyway, there's a hole. Ezekiel Elliott's there. Reader is right there. He needs to make this tackle. And if you're looking at this point, you're thinking, yeah, that's a gain of 1, maybe a no gainer, right? Well, let's watch. No. Reader has missed 11 tackles this year. Okay, he's terrible. Now, not only him, though. Watch Clay Matthews. Notice Clay Matthews. His job is to set the edge and squeeze the hole. Push Jason Witten's old behind back. This guy's a announcer. Can't do it. Gets washed out of the play. Finally, watch Taylor Rapp, who I mentioned is slow and undisciplined. Overruns the play. Gets blocked by Amari Cooper. Wide receiver is no help and is a big reason there's this lane right there, gain of 8, easy. So when the Niners run between the tackles, it's always a good idea to go at Clay Matthews' side, Taylor Rapp's side, Troy Reader's side. I mean, the 3 of them all in a triangle. This is the Bermuda, this is the triangle of death for the Rams. They got to break these guys up somehow, but that'll be a task for next offseason. The Niners are going to exploit these guys on the ground, between the tackles, outside the tackles. Let me show you how it could look outside the tackles. Tony Pollard is the Cowboys' change of pace guy. He's a lot like Mostert and Breida, Coleman. Let's see, 653. Here. Okay. Now. First and 10, this is 11 personnel. I wanted to show you a different personnel package from the Rams. This is, so 11 personnel means 3 wide receivers. So what the Rams do, they stick with their 5-man front, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But they have only 1 linebacker, and they bring their strong safety, Taylor Rapp, into the box. Always play with Rapp in the box. He's basically playing like a linebacker, which is bad news for the Rams and good news for the Cowboys here and the 49ers on Saturday. Let's watch how this one plays out. Okay. Again, Rapp, Clay Matthews on the same side. That's no good. That's where you want to run the ball. So look, here's Matthews. His job is to set the edge and push this guy back, not get widened out. It's you either get widened. It's like coaches say, you squeeze the hole or they push you out. They widen you out. Well, he doesn't squeeze anything. He's ridden out of the play. Okay, so forget him. Now, look at Taylor Rapp over here. He needs to engage this leading guard. Knock him back right here. But he seems almost afraid to touch him. He overruns the play. It looks like he runs away from him right there. No use. And then 58's late getting over. Just late. He's too fast. I mean, imagine this being Raheem Mostert. He can make that cut right there. Easy. Almost looks like Raheem Mostert. And then last, I mentioned Clay Matthews getting pushed out. He tries to get back in the play. Actually gets both arms around the running back. Misses the tackle. Clay Matthews has 11 missed tackles this season, just like Troy Reader. The Niners should run for 150 yards easily in this game, control the time of possession, and that's a winning strategy. All right? You can picture Raheem Mostert running that exact play. Now let's go to the Rams offense. Quick hit and run. A quick 16-pack. Not a 12-pack, not a 24-pack, but a 16-pack, right in between. If you know what I'm talking about. All right, Rob Havenstein. Let's look at some of the offensive linemen that will be protecting Jared Goff and attempting to make holes against the Niners' run defense. Jared Goff, not running plays. We're talking, let's go sacks. So Nick Bosa was doing a little bit of complaining this week about Rob Havenstein, not week 15. Not Rob Havenstein. Andrew Whitworth, left tackle, says basically Andrew Whitworth is good because he holds. Well, Whitworth is, I don't know if he holds that much. He does have 5 holding calls this year, but he's only given up 1 sack. He's terrific. The Niners would be much better off going after the right tackle, Rob Havenstein. And I'm going to show you why right here. Here we go. 858 right here. This is against the Cardinals. Havenstein on the right, 71. Going against Cassius Marsh, the former 49er. If you can't block Cassius Marsh, you're going to have a tough time against Nick Bosa. I mean, that's embarrassing. Beaten right away, gives up a big sack to Cassius Marsh. And what I want to show you with the technique of this Havenstein character, watch his feet. Technique is you want to be kick sliding. You never want to actually have to turn and run because at that point, you're just like praying and panicking. So how many kick slides does he get? 1, 2, 2. Now he's turning and running out of panic. So he's slow, he's clunky, and the Niners need to wear him out because he's not so good. He's given up 6 sacks this year. He's a liability, okay? Now let's look at the center, and not in terms of sacks, but in terms of his run blocking, because the Rams used to have a terrific offensive line and a terrific running game, and it's all fallen apart this year, partially because they don't have the same center they had last year. He's gone. They cut him. Jeff Sullivan, he's old. They replaced him with Austin Blythe, who's no good. Let's check out what he looks like. Todd Gurley. Okay. Todd Gurley. Run plays. And I'm talking week 15. Okay. There we go. All right. Now, I want 1324 here. Okay. Real simple. Doesn't take much analysis here to show you why Austin Blythe stinks. Okay, the center. This is the wrong one. It looks like the wrong one. Let's see. No, this is definitely the wrong one. Hold on. I'm talking week 14, not week 15. Week 14. Sorry about that. Bear with me. I intended this to be a quicker hit and run than it is, but I'm going to get back in the hit and run scheme of things. 1324. No, 805. All right, here we go. Okay, this was against the Seahawks, a game the Rams won, but they didn't win it because of Austin Blythe. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that much. All right, center here, going up against Seahawks nose tackle Poona Ford. It's going to be an outside zone run to this side where you got the conga line, all moving in one direction. But this guy, Austin Blythe, can't hold his ground. Gets pushed back by Poona Ford. Watch, just these two. Grabs him, pushes him, throws him out of the way, tackles Gurley for a 3-yard gain. Liability, Buckner can push him around. Kentavious Street can push him around. Julian Taylor can push him around. It's really tough to run the ball when there's penetration in the backfield right up the middle on most plays. And that's what you see with the Rams. That's why they're not running the ball so well. That's a big reason they're not running the ball so well. Part of it's schematic, but part of it is Todd Gurley too. I'll get to him in a minute. That's enough of the offensive line. Let's do let's do Todd Gurley right now. Todd Gurley. Okay. Week 15. Let's do Todd Gurley. This is what it looks like when he runs the ball. You've probably seen a little bit of Todd Gurley, but if you haven't, it's a real treat. Or it used to be. 1324. All right. When I watch him, I think this looks a lot like Tevin Coleman, and I'll show you why. Here he is. This guy he had 40 touchdowns the past 2 seasons for the Rams. Now he's averaging 3.9 yards per carry. Part of it is Austin Blythe and the rest of the offensive line not being good, aside from the left tackle, Andrew Whitworth. Part of it is Todd Gurley and his arthritic left knee. He hasn't been the same he hasn't been really good for about the last 12 months. And I'll show you exactly what the problem is in slow motion. All right, none of this matters. Change the play. It's going nowhere. All right, you're checking to a run. Got it. Okay. So it's going to be an outside zone run to the left, the conga line going this way. You've got to make one cut, and the arthritic knee is the left knee. He won't make a strong cut on that left side. It's almost like he's anticipating pain. You know, like if you have a toothache and you're chewing food and you know that pain is coming, if you chew down too hard so you don't, and you kind of, you're ginger, you baby it, It looks like that's what he's doing with his left knee. He's just anticipating the pain so he doesn't bring it on. But also, there's to me, indecision. Outside zone runs, it's a one-cut deal. You just have to make one cut and believe in it and go. You don't want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, hesitation, jump cut, rock back and forth. That's just wasting time. That's what Tevin Coleman does, and that's why he's been terrible the last 2 months. Raheem Mostert is fast and decisive, makes one cut there on his left leg, gets upfield and gets what he can, and that's what this system is built for. If you have an indecisive running back with an arthritic left knee, your running game is going to go nowhere, and the Rams stick with it. It's a big reason they struggle. That's what Gurley looks like. But really, to me, what made the Rams special the last couple of years was how they used Gurley as a receiver, the way they got him the ball on screen plays, and he could score from 75 yards away. They don't really do that with him anymore, which is interesting. I'll show you how they do use him in the pass game, and this is Week 14 against Seattle. It's kind of, I don't know what the word is. It's kind of sad to see what he's become. He used to be so much fun to watch. Now, it looks like he probably should retire. Let's see. 257. All right, here. Okay. Okay, here. So this is it. This is how they get the ball to Todd Gurley in the passing game now. Here he is. There he goes. That's it. Little curl. Check down. Turns upfield. Gets 3 yards. He's a check down guy now. He used to be the most dangerous receiver on their team. The thing you had to worry about most was him leaking out of the backfield, catching a screen. Now he just runs a little late release out of the pocket, turns around, catches the ball. Jeez, this guy used to be the most dynamic athlete in the league, or one of them. Now he can't move. Anyway, good for the Niners. All right, 2 more clips real quick. I'm going to show you Cooper Kupp and Tyler Higbee, then we're done. No, then we're going to do Jared Goff. Sorry, this was supposed to be quicker. I got to work on this. I'm working. 15, we're talking Cooper Kupp. Touchdowns. This guy's still good. The Rams are dangerous. They still have Cooper Kupp. When Jared Goff targets him, his quarterback rating's 110. I mean, it might be the issue is with Goff is his run game fell apart and his receivers aren't that good anymore. Cooks and Woods are having a terrible year, but Cooper Kupp is terrific. Watch this route. I mean, he's like a basketball player doing a crossover. Easy. And the other thing I want to show you, watch Jared Goff. He throws this ball before. Let's watch. I mean, he's got it in his mind right now. He's throwing it. Kupp hasn't even made his break. Now let's watch when he starts the throwing motion. Kupp still hasn't made his break. That just shows how much trust he has in Kupp. Perfect throw, perfect route. They can still beat you if you give them time. I mean, the Niners corners will have trouble covering Cooper Kupp if the Niners pass rush doesn't get to Jared Goff in 3 seconds or 2.5. Got to worry about him. Now, Tyler Higbee has emerged recently. What does Tyler Higbee do? Let's see. It's interesting because they use him a lot, very similarly to the way the Niners use Kittle. Show you. All right. It's a specific play they use every week with Tyler Higbee, and it's really good. Okay, here we go. What is it? 14:21. Here. They've run this play 3 games in a row. We slow it down. Again, play action, roll out to the right. This is the most basic play in the Niners and Rams playbook. They run this in preseason. They run this all the time, but it's a little variation. The defense is expecting to defend these 3 receivers flooding the right side of the field. They've totally forgotten about Higbee. How did he get there? He starts the play off like he's blocking. I showed you Blake Jarwin doing that earlier. Kittle does this too. He's blocking. Now he's kind of just hanging out, hoping everyone else forgets about him. 54 picks up 83, 30s picking up 83, 57s looking at Goff. You got 3 guys here. No one sees Tyler Higbee. So it's almost like a screen, but they've done this successfully against the Cowboys, the Rams, and I believe the Cardinals. 3 weeks in a row, teams have known it's coming, and they haven't been able to stop it. So let's watch what it looks like in the open field when he starts going. He can move. He's an explosive player. He's their big play threat. Cooper Kupp is their red zone third down guy. This is the guy they use to get a 30-yard gain, a 25-yard gain. This play's coming. They're definitely going to run this against the Niners because it's their best play right now. The Niners should be prepared for it, and I expect they'll have a plan to stop it. So it's good. It's a trap, but it's good. And when you know the trap is coming, you should be able to have a plan for it. Okay, finally, Jared Goff. What does he do well, and what does he do poorly? Let's see. Let's look at a completion he had week 11. 2 more clips, guys. Thanks. Not good. 2 more clips. All right. Week 11. And I'm talking 2, 3, 51. Okay. So you guys know Goff. You've seen a lot of Goff. I want to make 2 quick points about him. When he has time, which isn't often this season, he doesn't get sacked a lot, but he's under pressure a lot. When he has time, he can still throw a beautiful deep pass. One of the best deep passes in the league. It's got accuracy, touch, trajectory. It's got everything. I mean, this is one difference between Garoppolo and Goff. Garoppolo doesn't really make this throw. Doesn't even really attempt it. It's the best thing Goff does, his deep ball. If the Niners can't get to him and hit him, if the pass rush is a non-factor, they're going to have to defend passes like this all game. If they do hit him, he won't even attempt these throws. So this is what makes him dangerous. Now let's see what makes him a liability to the Rams or dangerous to the Rams. Week 15, I'm talking interceptions. All right. Interceptions. Week 15. This is a little bad Jimmy-ish. But this is what happens when he gets under pressure. Well, hold on. From the back. Let's do it like this. Pressure's going to get there this time. It's zone coverage, and he's just going to throw the ball up for grabs. He knows it's zone. There's nothing disguised about this. It's clear. Right now, I mean, you got 2 deep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 underneath. It's cover 2. I mean, standard. He sees it, but what happens is, if you see from the end zone angle, he's got pressure right here, and here. And when he's under pressure, he makes terrible decisions. He just telegraphs his throw, eyeballs it the whole way. He's got Robert Woods running this in cut, and theoretically, I mean, it would be open maybe if there was a play action fake here and these 2 guys had stepped up to play the run, but there was no play action fake. This was 2nd and 14. They're dropping right into the throwing window. He sees it, throws it anyway. He's backpedaling where he wants to throw the ball, but the pass rush is coming. Throws it anyway, gets intercepted. But what also look, he bangs his thumb on the helmet in front of him. He was on the injury report this week. Who knows how well he'll be able to throw a ball against the Niners. Watch this. But this is just like, screw it. I'm about to get hit. Get rid of the ball. So makes a bad play even worse. Hits his hand on a helmet right there. Here. Hand on this one. Boom. His own guy. And just throws it right to the linebacker. And the thing about it, if that linebacker hadn't got it, this one might have got it. They're both dropping in the same spot. I mean, I expect Jared Goff to do this a couple of times against the Niners. So the Rams do present some other challenges that they didn't present last time, but they can't stop the run. Their quarterback is a much worse version of Jimmy Garoppolo. And Todd Gurley basically is non-functional. Niners should win this game by a couple of touchdowns. I don't know if they will win the game by a couple of touchdowns, but they should win the game for a couple of touchdowns. What do you think? Thanks for watching.